Hello everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. And today in this video, I'm gonna be covering the subject of racial bigotry. And this is gonna be something that'll be very, very important. It's gonna be very, very important. And I think this is something that I want to find out from all of you, just to see what you think about the whole idea of racial bigotry from the time you were growing up, how often it happens to you compared to me, and how often it happens in the workplace, comparing me to you. And I just want to figure out something having to do with this particular subject. I know that not everybody experiences the same type of bad negativity and antagonism by racist white people and things like that. I, for one, because the people that I discussed this with, this happened last night while I was recovering from my episodes of my veins popping from my feet and my legs, and having to go to the hospital and all that. Last night I spoke to a couple of relatives. One being my mother, which is understandable for her. She's 80 years old, and then she talked about how she was antagonized for her just being Hispanic and what she went through. And it's understandable. I mean, think about it, growing up in the 1950s as a teenager, and then in their early 20s in the 1960s, like that. That was understandable during that time. And she told me about it, and it's pretty much common sense, and it was really bad. Compared to me, it wasn't really that bad. I never really came across that much racial bigotry when I was growing up, because even though I don't have any pictures to show you, there was a lot of times where I was mistaken to be white, because my mom's side of the family, they have a lot of German in their family. So when I was a little kid, when I was there's a picture of me when I was about 6 years old, maybe 5 years old, around there. When I first started kindergarten, I was there with my little Mickey Mouse shirt and stuff like that, and I was smiling for the picture, for the camera. I'm sorry, I was smiling for the camera, and then when I saw the picture, my hair was gold, like reddish kind of a color, and I passed for a Caucasian kid. A lot of people thought I was Caucasian. A lot of people thought I was white, and I didn't really until they heard me talk, and then that's when they kind of because I had that type of that sound of that voice of a Hispanic person. And then when I was growing up, even in my early teens, when I was 13 years old, a lot of people thought I was white. So I really didn't come across any real serious racial bigotry until I got into my early mid-20s. But it happened once in a great while. Once in a great while I would come across it. And in my late 30s and 40s, once in a great while. And there was of course a couple of stupid people that just gave me looks. And I said this before in one video about not to take things too seriously. Stupid people are gonna say stupid things, and don't let that shit get to you. Just because an incident happened where a woman got angry at me because I accidentally, and this was by accident. I didn't know. I asked for some sliced ham from the deli, and I didn't know that I cut in line. I didn't know there was a lady that was there that was in line because of the way the crowd was. Some people were like already on the side talking, and there was a lot of other people talking, and I just wasn't thinking. So and then even when I apologized and I explained myself, I'm sorry, I didn't know, I was just talking to whatever, and she just gave me that look like she didn't even care, and then she says, well, next time know what you're doing, and she just with that sarcastic, not sarcastic, but with that mean tone, that arrogant type of tone, and I didn't appreciate that. I didn't like that, so I said, no, whatever, bitch. So I just fuck that. I wasn't gonna take that kind of fucking verbal abuse. And then she looked at me and says, whatever, you fucking Mexican. And I'm like, oh my god. So I smiled and I chuckled, a little bit, and then I looked at her and says, thank you. Wow, that's really original. Thank you. Now I could have said, fuck you, you white bitch, and then start an argument with her. I could have done that, but that's going schoolyard. I mean, I'm not in third grade. Someone calls me a name, I call them a name right back, and then we start an argument, and then a fight or whatever, and this kind of thing. I mean, that's stupid. So I just walked away from it, and I says, wow, that's original. Thank you. She didn't say anything. I mean, she was a dumb bitch. That's how that's what it is. But just don't let that shit get to you. That's my message for people. And that was the point that I was making in that video. Anyways, a question was posed that I was actually very interested in. Why is it that some Hispanic people, me being a Chicano, and then, not getting as much flack as other people, why is it that some Hispanic people come across racial bigotry more than others? Why is that? Why does that happen? And I noticed it has a lot to do with the way the person looks. If the person looks like more Hispanic, like a beaner, they use the word beaner. And some people have because there's some Hispanics that have there's some Hispanics that have some kind of European features to their looks. Some of them can pass for white, and some of them, like in my case when I was growing up. And sorry about that. Someone was trying to call. That's why the screen went all paused like that. Anyways, some people could actually pass for not looking that much Hispanic. And I noticed some people have Aztec type features. They're they have dark skin, or they have that. I'm not saying this to be mean or anything like that, but there's some Hispanic people that have a lot of Aztec. Like my friend, there's a friend of mine named Juan that I grew up with. We've been friends ever since we were 7 years old. I'm 48 years old, and so is he. And we grew up in the same neighborhood and stuff like that. And he has very dark skin. He has the shape of his forehead, or the shape of his head. They have this. He had some kind of he has a little bit of Indian type of like I don't know, not as much as other people. There's some people that have that stone face, like stone forehead. You know, like someone like they like you know the way they're shaped or whatever like that. They have that type of Indian type of look to their face, and these Aztec features, and they get antagonized more than other people. And my friend Juan was antagonized a lot, and he got into a lot of fights. He got into a lot of fucking fights because of that. You know, people didn't like him because of the way he looked, and even though he did have a lot of white friends because he went to a private school, but he did come across a lot of stupid punks that talk shit, and he would get into a lot of fights because of that. And I noticed, it seems to me that people that have that ideal look are getting antagonized more than others. And the ones that have like European Hispanic type features don't get antagonized that much. I talked to many people, some of them friends of mine, that are Hispanic. They were not Chicanos. Some of them were from El Salvador. Some of them were from one country. I'm trying to remember right now. I don't know if it was Ecuador or something like that, but there was some from El Salvador and stuff like that, and a few people that are from Spain. And I noticed that Spaniards, especially a lot of them, could pass for white. A lot of the Spaniards, because they're European Hispanic, and they even admit they don't get that much flack of antagonism from racist white people because they could pass for white. But the ones that look more Hispanic, the ones that have more of that ethnic, of that Aztec, or any kind of features like that. Well, the shape of their faces, their skin tone, their complexion, that kind of thing. And I asked a lot of these people, a couple of friends of mine that were European Hispanic. I asked them, have you ever come across any kind of racial bigotry when you were growing up or in the workplace and stuff like that? And they all gave me the same answer. And they said, once or twice. And then they started explaining about what happened in the workplace and stuff like that. And I'm saying to myself, okay, that's bad, but that's nothing compared to other people. I just want to know what you people think. What kind of racial bigotry have you come across? Is it true what I'm saying? That some have it worse than others because some look more ethnic than the ones that are European Hispanic? Is it true that European Hispanics don't get that much racial bigotry, that much antagonism, compared to other Hispanics that look more beaner, that word beaner kind of thing, or Aztec, or those Aztec features like I just explained, the complexion and stuff like that? Is there any kind of truth to that? That's what I want to know. So give me your opinion. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And any comments, questions, you know what to do. So I'm just interested to know what you actually think, and what in your experience, stuff like that. So to all of you, this is Dare to Speak. Take care.